Hi guys, how are you? I'm just driving to my appointment. I want to talk to you guys about something real, and it's you know what, I've talked to God about this I think 2 or 3 times, and at first I was a little bit offended. You know what I mean? Like, I was so offended at first when I heard this, but after some time I thought about it, and I'm like, you know what, God, I'm like, you're absolutely right. Like, we can't be upset at people and blame people for feeling this way. It's so understandable. Like, when you actually learn to when you not learn to, but when you mature a little bit and you have a whole different perception of things, and not perception but perspective of things, and you see it from someone else's point of view, it makes sense, especially when you understand that the very people who feel this way, they may have had to fight some things themselves. They may have had to go through some things themselves. And you also have to look at things sometimes as when God takes you to that level, your mindset may be the same way. You get what I'm saying? Like, so I'm just going to speak some real stuff to you guys. And some of you guys may understand where I'm coming from because you may have already experienced this. But speaking of generational curses, because that's what I've been speaking about all morning, because God has been talking to me about, recently about generational curses, breaking covenants, and how some people in our family, they're not over the fact that God has really picked us. They're not over the fact that we are the chosen ones. They're not over the fact that God has something different in store for us, right? They're not over it, and a lot of them are resentful, angry, upset, and a lot of them have not changed, and they're still up to no good. They're still doing the things they were doing before. They're still doing the curses. They're still doing the rituals, even though none of that's working no more, because a lot of the stuff that we're battling, we don't really feel it like that no more, because we've become so accustomed to the war. It's like we become so strong in spirit and strong physically. It's like, even like a ritual that we would have felt in the beginning, if we were to feel it now, we wouldn't be as sick like we were in the beginning, because we have become so accustomed to it, right? So it's not affecting us no more. But I want to just say something. I've already known this, but I'm going to keep it real with y'all. A lot of the people, mainly family, if you're dealing with a family member that's doing spells on you, if you're dealing with witches in your family, warlocks in your family, I can't speak for people outside of the family, because God was talking to me specifically about family. But a lot of people are going through the same thing. And family that are into this stuff and that be attacking you, their mission is they don't want you to be with anybody. They want you to be alone. They don't want you to have friends. They don't want you to have anyone in your life. Like, and you'll know because if you are experiencing this where people have been attacking you at a young age, right? And you notice that ever since you were a child, it's like every time you had something good, it's like your family was the cause of these good things being removed from you, or these good things being blocked from you, or your family was the cause of things being destroyed. Like, every good thing that came in your life, it's like someone in your family would try to sabotage it. If you were starting to bond with someone in your family, there's another person in your family that would try to break up that bond. I remember one time a person in my family, me and my cousin were bonding. We were actually getting really, really close. And then my other cousin came in, and she twisted my words and lied and said I said something that I didn't say. And she twisted it to make it smell something it wasn't, and had the other cousin turn on me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there's people in your family that will see that every time like something good happens to you, it's like they try to do whatever they can to destroy it or ruin it, because they don't want you to have anything nice. Not only do they not want you to have anything nice, but they don't want you to be with anybody. They want you to be alone. They don't want you to have friends. They don't want you to have someone that loves you. It's like they don't want you to have anything. It's like they want you to be alone. So, thank you. So, he let me through. So, there's specific rituals that they would do that to try to make you be alone. There's specific curses they would do. Hence why many of you guys had to fight the spirit of rejection. Hence why many of you guys had to fight specific spirits of stagnation, because it's like spell work layered on top of spell work. It's like when more than one person is doing spell work, it becomes layered. It's a layered battle now, okay? Or when one person is doing multiple different spell work, it becomes layered. The point of me saying this is you are going to meet, when you start to like get into a better position and God starts to elevate you and you're fighting all this and you're doing okay, you're healing, and you're actually starting to break these curses, but these people are still doing what they're doing behind the scenes. When you come into an encounter with someone who is on the same page as you, basically like they're elevating, you're elevating. They're on a certain status, you're at a certain status. You know how when you elevate, you meet people on your level kind of thing, right? And you may meet certain males or females that are on the same page as you. And you may be excited about it because you're like, God, I've always wanted to have friends who are also like ambitious, goal driven, and all of that, because in the past I never really had friends like that. But you may meet some friends who are like that, or people who are like that. But when they understand like what it is you're fighting and what it is you're battling, like when they know that you're battling certain things like this, they may not want to be associated with you, not because you're a bad person, but because if they understand that this is what you're battling, right? And they know because you may have opened up to them, or they just know, they feel it, they know about it, they feel it because they may have went through it themselves. They may not want to associate themselves with you. Not, like I said, not because you're a bad person, but because they don't want to get involved. Because they may have things going for them, right? They may have things going for them, and they may have had to fight certain things as well. It may not be the same battles you fought, but it may have took them a very hard time to build themselves up to where they are elevation-wise, right? So because it took them so long to build themselves up to where they are elevation-wise, there's a bird nest. You come in, you're a good person, everything, but they can feel spell works being done to you. They know that you're battling something spiritual. They know that whoever's doing it to you is dangerous. And remember something, if these people that are doing this to you, they don't want you to have anything, they will attack the people even around you. They will attack the friends that you're around. If you take pictures with a specific friend and they see that photo, they may attack that friend only because that friend is associated with you. Do you see what I'm saying? They may turn people against you. Right? And it's not like some of these people don't actually like you. Some of them may actually like you, but they know that if they hang with you, they're going to get attacked. They know that if someone's doing spell work on you, spell work may be done to them. And some of these people have too much to lose. It's like in their mind, it's kind of like they may have not ever dealt with this before. They don't want to have to deal with this. Or it's a situation where, they've dealt with it already. They fought their generational curses. They fought their cycles. Nothing's being done to them anymore. Whoever may have been attacking them, they may have already gotten their wrath, or they may have just stopped attacking them, and then them associating themselves with you. It's like they're putting themselves back to square one. They're putting themselves back in that position again. You see what I'm saying? So, not to say that these people won't be protected from God. No, I feel God is going to protect anyone associated with you, because why would God want you to be alone? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, God will, of course, protect anyone associated with you, but that does not mean that the people that are attacking you won't attack them. There will be attempts to attack the very people you're building friendships with. There will be attempts to attack the person you are getting married to, or the person you're married to. There will be attempts to attack the boyfriend or the girlfriend that you have. Like, showing whoever's in your life personally can be dangerous while you have family doing this stuff to you. Because if they want you to be alone, they are going to go after anyone that loves you, anyone that supports you, anyone that's associated with you. That's just how they are. I know for a fact that is the truth, because it's happened to me before, where when people found out who I was associated with from my family, they've attacked people who were associated with me, who were friends with me, and you get what I'm saying? These people had to remove themselves from me. Did it hurt me? Absolutely. Did it make me cry? Absolutely. It's painful, because it's like, I know I'm a good person, and I know I'm a very loyal friend, and I know you get what I'm saying? But at the same time, I understand why people had to remove themselves, because I understand that there's people who are elevating in life. They're doing so well, and they're like, Steph, I know you're a good person, but with all that you're going through right now and people attacking you, I can't associate myself with that, because I have too much to lose right now. I can't go through no warfare right now. I can't go through no attacks right now. And I know me being your friend is gonna open the door for whoever's attacking you to attack me. Do you see what I'm saying? And it's very deep. It's very hard to explain, and it does hurt. And some people may not actually tell you that. So it's very hard to talk about it. And like the thing about it is that's why some people may be hot and cold with you. It's not that they're a bad personality, you can't trust them. They may be hot and cold with you as in they like you, they communicate with you, you know, y'all have a good like conversation and everything, but when it comes to like let's hang out, when it comes to let's get closer, they may kind of back out. Not because they don't trust you, not because they don't like you. Like, do you see what I'm saying? It's like, it's not because of that. It's because they're afraid to associate themselves with you because they have a lot going for them and they don't want to go through any of that. And this happens in relationships too. Like, you may have a whole kingdom wife or something, or a husband who has already been established. They're already on a certain level emotionally, financially, and they're established and they have a lot going for them, and they may have had to fight to get to where they are. And you may still be fighting generational curses, and you may still have people in your family that are doing some crazy rituals to you, and this person may fully be aware of it because God may have already told them and spoke to them about what you're going through, and they may not be able to associate themselves with you in the time being until some of these things is cleared out. And I'm just keeping it real. Of course, you know, you have to have a husband and wife that protects you. Yes. And ultimately, I was like, okay, well, if that's your husband or wife, why they should be able to come in whenever? No, that's not true, because sometimes it's all about God's timing. Sometimes they may want to come in, but God may say, nah, there's some things that he or she still has to get cleared out generational wise before you fully come in, because it's going to affect you. You get what I'm saying? You already fought your curses. You already fought what's going down in your family lineage, you know, but she or he has some little bit more clearing a way to do. You see what I'm saying? So now you got to wait an extra couple months, or you have to wait an extra year until I fully get whatever I need to get done on her end or his end cleared out. That's what the Lord may actually tell your person. So your person may be going through a bit of yearning and missing you and loving you because they want to talk to you and be around you so bad, but they know that the people who are attacking you is going to go after them, and God's told them to stay clear of you for that time frame, you know, for the time being. And it may be hurtful. So I know some of y'all may not even understand this and may not believe this, but it's the truth. It's the truth. But mainly I'm talking about people that you always wanted to, you know, it's kind of like it's like you saying, God, I've always wanted to have friends who are just like me. And you finally meet friends who are just like you, or you meet people who are just like you, goal driven, etc. But they're aware of what you're fighting. They're aware of what you're going through. You see what I'm saying? They're aware of what you're going through. And they have boundaries because they can't associate themselves with certain things because of what's going on in their life. They're established themselves, right? So they may not, like I said, they may not tell you, but they'll put boundaries on you because of what you're going through, right? And then if you don't understand this, in your mind, you may see it as they don't like you, or in your mind, you may see it as they're low-key hating, or in your mind, you may see it as, you know, oh, here we go again. This always happens to me. They're rejecting me. In your mind, you may see it that way, and that could very well be it in certain cases. But if you have, like I said, if you have that relationship with God and you can hear the Holy Spirit, he will confirm to you why somebody has cleared their self away from you, or why someone has cut ties with you. He will confirm to you why someone is not as consistent with you, or why someone does not, you know, want to hang around you as much, and he will confirm to you why. And I'm being honest, in some of my cases, he has told me that the person very much appreciates me, looks up to me, loves me, and they're very happy at where I am in my life, but the person can't really associate himself with me because they don't want to get involved with what I'm going through on my end. You see what I'm saying? Even though they know it's not my fault, they just don't want any type of involvement because of everything that's going on in their life, right? So I have received this confirmation before from God, you know? So I've been talking to God about it. Like I said, I talked to him about it like 3 times in my life, and I talked to him about it the other day. It was the 3rd time, and it was like, but when I spoke to him about it the other day, I had a different perspective and understanding of it. And it was like, you know what? I don't blame people if that's the case. I don't blame them. And I completely understand, because I'm like, God, if I was in a certain level in my life, you know, just like where I am today, I don't associate myself with certain friends in the past because they're not they're not wanting to do anything with their life. They're not wanting to establish themselves, right? So I completely understand, right? But I was telling God, but that's their choice not to do that. Like, you know, when someone doesn't want to associate themselves with me because of what I'm battling behind the scenes, that's not my fault that someone's choosing to do spell work on me. It's not my fault someone's trying to put curses on me because they're hating. That's not my fault, God. So why would they, you know, not want to associate themselves with me for what someone else chooses to do? And God really had to explain it to me on a different level and say, well, you have to understand that people don't want to risk their livelihood, and people don't want to risk their achievements and their stuff for certain things. And I'm like, you know what, you're right, God, you know? So I'm saying this to say that if you are starting to do good, or if you are finally like fighting certain things and getting to a certain level of your life, and people just, they're around you, they talk to you, and they associate themselves with you, but you don't ever see them want to hang out with you, or they may cancel on plans, or they may not want to go, you know what I mean? It's kind of like, you're like, okay, if we're friends, why don't you want to hang out with me? This can sometimes be it. It just, maybe they don't want to be associated with what you're going through behind the scenes. They know about your curses that you're breaking. They know about the lineage. They know about what you're fighting. They know that you are a target. And because you are a chosen one, right? They know you are a target, and a lot of them are like, I don't want to be associated with the target. That's their mentality, and that's not your fault. That's not your fault. But the point of me saying this to you is I also don't want you guys to be upset and bitter about it if it ever happens to you. I want you guys to actually like see it from a different perspective and be more understanding about it. Do you see what I'm saying? Be understanding about it. Eventually eventually at some point, when God has finally cleared away what's on your end, which he's obviously working on, you know what I mean? Then you'll receive it's kind of like you'll receive good friendships and stuff like that. And you don't need a lot of friends anyways, but you'll receive the right people. You'll receive the right people, okay? See, when it comes to your husband or your wife that God has for you, regardless, they're going to come into your life, you know what I mean, on God's timing. And even when they come into your life, y'all still going to go through some battles together. So it's not like they're trying to escape the battle completely, because they won't. They know they won't. Because y'all gonna have to fight together at some point. You get what I'm saying? But it's just that there's certain things, in some cases, there's certain things that have to be cleared away first before God can bring them in, right? So I just want to give you guys this confirmation. Anyways, I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.